They say the two most stressful times in your life is one, if you get divorced, and the other, is moving house.
Right.
So this house environment is very, very important. So if I'm living somewhere and I've just signed a 12-month agreement and then all of a sudden I'm really not happy because I wasn't given what I was promised, then why am I bound to live in this property for the next 12 months and worried about you're going to put a case against me? We've got to look from, the shoe on the other foot. And do I want a tenant who's unhappy, who's going to call me about every little last thing, where if you've got a happy tenant, they will change that light bulb. Yeah. They go, oh, I'm really sorry, didn't want to disturb you, but we changed that laminating floor, or we done something, and you just think, wow, I've had them wow tenants who are really, really happy with you, and I've had them, obviously, them tenants who are unhappy. So Section 21 is one of the things is, people can give you, a month or 2 months sort of notice, isn't it? Yeah. So what's wrong with that? Why should that be an issue? I
think it's more to do with, I think it's getting a lot more tighter, a lot more legislation, and it is putting like a chain around landlords' neck, especially now where you've got stamp duty going from 2 to 4.5%. And now, I don't know if you've seen on the news with Labour's party, they're trying to do the non-dom tax. So like they're implementing that in April 2025.
Yeah.
And I know you've invested internationally now.
Yes. So look, let's look at this holistically now, as a business. Yeah, the UK has always been a safe haven. Like, people from abroad, Emirati, Saudi, they've plowed in billions. Like, I've just seen Harrods was bought for 1.5 billion from, Mohammed Al Fayed. And
he bought the Shard as well.
Yeah, exactly. So these people have been investing here. So I call the UK a sort of safe haven where you keep your golden eggs, because we're on an island. There's only a certain amount of properties that can be bought in here. And what I have, I'm not going to sell. I'm a generational landlord. My kids will probably see my properties. Yeah. So that's what UK is. Now, going forward, am I going to carry on buying in the UK? Currently not. I haven't seen that sort of good deal. Are there deals to be had? Absolutely. But not for me, because I've got a large portfolio. I've got over £50,000 in rent coming in a month. So I'm really selective. If I'm not even going to make that on a certain percentage on a property, I'm like, it's not even worth me getting out of bed. So I've looked at it. Stamp duty, have gone from 3 to 5%. For foreign investors, now 7%. You've only got to sit down on the central line and go, the cushions are bloody gone here. There's graffiti everywhere.
Yeah.
And, someone's bloody pulled a passenger alarm every 2 seconds. So you're just looking at that environment. I've sat in the NHS, people like my mum's gone to the NHS and sat 17 hours in A&E. It's the whole thing is broken.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just thinking, why is this a place now that I want to invest? UK's already gone down, and it looks like it's going to go down another 20%.
Yeah.
And then you step back and then you look over to Dubai and you think, wow, the environment is under a certain threshold, you don't pay any tax. It goes to 9% tax, when you are being taxed.
What is the threshold?
I think it's about 100K.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's about 100K,
Okay.
but don't quote me for that, because I haven't really. I just quote it as 9% because I know I'm going to be going into that environment. But if you're like a teacher and you're on 50,000, it's all tax free. Why? Because they believe you're putting that money back into the economy over there.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is currently building underground tunnels. The biggest airport in the world, 128 billion is being spent over there. This is like the center of the world now.
Yeah.
You got the biggest Wen casino being built in the world. Currently it's in Las Vegas. So what do they want? They want that market share. And currently it's not legal to gamble.
It's in another part,
Ras Al
isn't it?
Khaimah.
Yeah.
So
I saw the drone helicopters that they're thinking of doing.
So that's
as
next
well.
year. Next year they are coming out where there's drones, the drone sort of transport Ubers. You got 4-seaters in there. The technology and the mindset of this country, it's the total opposite. And people think, oh, there's a bubble that's gonna burst. But if you look at where sort of Dubai is, they're like 11 down before all these other countries will go bust, like Japan, etc. So you think they're not even close to that. They are actually doubling their sort of population by 2033. You know what I mean? They're going for it. Why? Because it's a great environment for expats. There's only 15% Emiratis that are currently living there. 85% are expats. Why? Because you only need an internet connection now. So why not wake up to, an environment where there's, sunshine in the morning? And guess what? When you finish at 5 o'clock and you close your laptop, you can actually go outside and it's still daylight and it's still warm weather. And then you've got these sort of cages where people playing paddle or a little bit of golf, or you can just,
It's safer environment as well, Sean.
under 1%.
Yeah.
Under 1%
Ridiculous.
of crime in Dubai. So just looking at from that point of view, it just sort of made sense. I'm the most risk averse person. I don't like change. I'm a little bit old school. I might look young, but I'm 40 next year, so I've still got that
You've
sort
still
of,
got a baby face, Sean. You've still got a baby
Thank
face.
you very
It's the
much.
Indian genes.
There we go. Yeah, I'll take that one. But a deal was put to me. Somebody said, do you want a property here? And it was a couple of friends of mine as well. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Looked stunning, wraparound balcony, pool view. And it was a specific place in Dubai. And I looked at this deal and it said 250,000. I was like, I ain't got 250 grand. Because sure, you don't need 250 grand. You only need half of that, 125. I said, oh, cool, that sounds better, but I still ain't got 125 for this deal. And then he goes, well, that's split into 5 payments. So you pay January, February, you pay your 2 payments. August, you'll pay another 25. That's 75 grand. And then the following year is 25 grand in February, which I've just paid, and another 25 in August. And 4 months before it completes, give us 4 bank statements and we'll get a mortgage for you.
Oh, wow.
You know, so that's one exit strategy, mortgage. You can pay cash.
Nice.
And if I wanted to pay cash, 6 months later, I could get it revalued at the new valuation. Because guess what? It's already, the next lot are already selling between 320 to 330. So
you
that
refinance.
Yeah.
You can
So
definitely
60,
do that.
70 grand, it's gone up. Yeah, exactly. Go to the bank and say, look, pay this out, right? It's now built. It's now mortgageable. That's a different valuation as well. And so if it's worth 350 and I pull out 60% of my money, I've nearly de-risked that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of the best communities that I've actually invested in, and it's only 15 minutes away from the new airport. So where do you think all these pilots, these air hostesses, the cleaning staff and people who have shops, etc., where they're all going to be living? They've got to be living around, right?
Of course.
And Airbnb is going to be massive around that area. So Dubai isn't just marina and business bay. It's a new part that's coming down a certain way, you know? And this is what you got to always look at. Not where it's happened, where is it gonna happen? Where's the next move?
Yeah.
So I did this, and so it's made me a lot more comfortable. And I'm thinking, a lot of people go, well, how do I know how to trust where my money's going? Well, it goes into a government escrow account. That means it's government protected.
Okay.
And you only deal with tier 1 companies. Forget the tier 2, tier 3, or these 1% payments or these 5% deposit and pay the rest when you build it. Why do you think these developers are giving these offers? Because they're struggling. They need money. So go for good payment plans. Projects which are like Imar, that's one of the people who have invested through. They built like the Burj, you know. Another one invested through is Shoba, you know.
Wow.
And in Ras Al Khaimah, there's an island out there. And so where there's an island, the Sharia laws are not bound on them islands. Hence why they can build things like casino and, you know, gamble and a few other things. And they're mimicking the Maldives right now. So, you know, and you know, Dubai always does it better.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
So I've got a piece of that. Are
you going to live over there?
Currently, I haven't thought about it, but I do feel that within the next 5 years, I probably will be, you know,
With your kids and everyone, shift everyone out.
in some way, shape or form, I will be there.
Yeah.
I really do think so. Why wouldn't I? Why am I waking up after Christmas from these 4 or 5 months of cold, dark winters? Like, why are we doing that for ourselves? Sometimes we it's like generational trauma, isn't it? You think, I have to have this life. My parents had this hard life. I've got to put myself. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Just work harder at other things. Put your attention of where you have most value. Go for more coffees with people out there. Like, as soon as somebody sees a picture of me in Dubai, they're going, Sean, are you in Dubai right now? I get about 20 DMs. I'm like, that's where I should be, because over here, people going, you talking about money or a business deal? Don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a totally different mindset.
Oh, definitely. They don't seem as supportive. It's a very small community in the property that's actually will help you and lift. But over in Dubai, when I went there, it's just money mindset. As long as if you want to make money, that's all they care about.
Exactly.
And I thought, oh, this is brilliant. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's not like, oh, I can't say this, I can't say that. You can actually freely speak about ideas, business things without any judgment at all. And then like everyone coming together. I thought that was amazing when I went to Dubai. I actually thought it was amazing. So the final piece I wanted to talk about is Simon